Alright. Welcome, everyone. We are just getting ourselves ready and ready to go for the night. Okay. How's everyone doing out there tonight? Yeah, Troy, there's a lot of fireworks going off. Yeah, I'm getting some out here too. We're just getting ready here, so let me just flip it over to the long exposure here. Alright, so just setting up the guider, so it's just going to take just a few minutes here while we get this all set up and ready to go. Now, here's the thing. I'm in the midst of trying to figure things out here for one thing, and that is what's called Nina. Jeff Lucas Astrophotography mentioned it to me a couple days ago. What that is, it's nighttime imaging and astronomy. So what that means is it's a great program to use as an all-in-one. So it's nighttime imaging and astronomy is exactly what it's called. I just started working on it this evening, and it's going to be a little bit for me to get used to. I don't want to put this on my stream yet. I want to learn the program first, get everything the way my equipment is, and then that's when I'll take it to the next level. So I'll show everybody what it is while we have things up and running, while we're imaging. But for the moment right now, I'd have to redo all my setups, I'd have to redo everything here, and right now I just don't want to take that risk right now. So right now we're going to leave it as is for the moment. The way I have it set up is absolutely perfect, and I don't want to risk it. I don't want to take any chances. So we're going to leave it as is. Not to say that we won't use it in the future. We will, just not at the moment. As I said, what you can use Nina for is use it for your guider, your astro capturing, which is for your cameras, plate solving, and then objects during the night. So you can use them for everything all in one. And welcome, Eric. So next clear night, before I go on, I'd like to test it out, get everything together, because I don't want to use all of it and find out that we're wasted a clear night. But as I said, I'm going to pull it up in a little bit. Just right now we are just waiting for the guider to finish its calibration. We're going to do north and south, and we're going to start our imaging. So right now we're going to start with IC 1396. We have not gotten it with the hydrogen alpha filter. I did take a test shot. This is just a 90-second image, unguided. Alright, so the camera on the left of where we are, I'm going to use the curves. And again, it's unbelievable what this filter can do. It's a 7 nanometer hydrogen alpha filter from Sobani, okay? And what this does, it only selects 7 nanometers out of that light spectrum. And the detail is amazing. Compared to what we were getting before, I mean, I haven't touched any of the images in over a week. So to me, it's just absolutely incredible what we can get. So I'm just adjusting the image here. So that is right there. Just a 90-second image, unguided. So of course the stars are going to look oblong and everything, but I mean, it's just incredible. Just incredible, the detail that you're getting out of this, which is just unreal. I mean, you're getting the elephant trunk, which is literally right in the middle of the screen. That's just a 90-second image. I mean, I could do 90 seconds all the way through and then just continuously keep getting images, but we're not going to stop at 90 seconds. We're going to go and we're going to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minute exposures. So this way we'll be able to blow the detail out. We'll also take the gain all the way down too. I learned that putting the gain at 20 puts too much noise in the image. I was looking at a couple images before I went on at 10:30 this evening and noticed there was a lot of noise in that image. So let's get this started. We are now officially guiding. So let's take a 90-second exposure here. So we'll just take a single one just to see what we got. And we'll take a 10-second exposure on the right. See what we get here. Okay, perfect. Alright, so it's taking a 90-second exposure right now as we speak. Alright, so now it's done. Now we can take a look and see what it looks like. Well, this is now guided. The other one was unguided. This one is guided. Yeah, I may have to take the gain down on it. That looks pretty good. Alright, so let's take some images. So now here's the thing. Here's what we'll do. We'll take the same image, and this time we'll do it at 1 gain and see what it looks like. Because that's ultimately what I want to see. Alright, so now we're going to take that. Let's do a planner. Alright, so the next one should be done with just a gain of 1. I just want to see what it looks like to see if we're still going to get detail. We should still get detail at 90 seconds. Yeah. We might have to bring it up to 5. Alright, so we're going to bring it to 5. We'll try a 6-minute exposure, see what we get here on the camera on the left, with just a gain of 1. And if worse comes to worse, because we're still trying to figure out the gain. Open up a window a little bit here. Guiding is really good tonight, so I may just bust out the exposure here. I'm gonna do a 6-minute exposure, see what it looks like. We should be in great shape. I mean, that looks pretty awesome. That's pretty epic. Now, of course, that's with the gain of 20, and that's just a 90-second exposure. Of course, naturally, we'll change that here, just so you can get an idea. "90 seconds, and of course the gain is just cranked to 20. It's crazy because, and if you think about it, the one on the left, this is 90 seconds. The one on the right, it's gonna be like a 7 or 8 minute exposure, and you're not gonna get half the detail, which is crazy. Wait till I get the other filters for this camera on the left too. And we'll be able to get this in color. Then the real fun will begin. Alright, so the next image should be just about done. And again, this next image that's coming up is going to be 6 minutes at a gain of 1. So we'll see what it does. I can't make any guarantees on what's going to happen here. If it turns out good, then that's the setting that we will use from here on out. Camera on the right should be just about done too. It's at 90% for the camera on the right. Alright, here we go. So this is a 6-minute exposure at a gain of 1. Are we going to get any detail? Oh, yeah. Oh boy, you have to really push this. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to do it. Maybe. Yeah, you have to get some gain in this. Unfortunately, you have to. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll do a 4. That's 6 minutes. That should be good. And we'll try that, so that way it doesn't give you as much, but gives you just enough gain to look out for some image. Because, I mean, I can bring out some of the detail here. Ah! I mean, that's tough to do. Exactly. You know, we're trying to figure it all out. Well, let me do this. 2,500 and 1,500, so it's like right there. Let's see here. Oh, it's out of focus. Holy. It's way out of focus. How about that? We might have to fix that. Yeah, it's out of focus. Alright, we'll fix that. Camera on the right is done, though. Yeah, we may have to fix the focus on it. Yeah, we need gain in this. There's just no question about it. Alright, so we've learned something tonight. We learned that we need gain in order for this to show up some detail. Because if we don't do gain, then we're not going to be able to get anything. So we learned that. So that's good. How does this look? Pretty darn good to me. Stars look good for an 8-minute image. Yeah, that looks pretty darn good. Oh yeah, that looks really good. That's the binary star right there. Yeah, that looks good. I can't complain with that. We'll see what this looks like in 18 seconds, and then we may have to fix the focus. That's not a big deal. Alright, what do we got here for 4? Let's take a look and see. Oh, that looks a lot better. Alright, so how does it look for stars? 2,500, 1,500, let's see. Yeah, they look out of focus, that's okay. Alright. Alright, let's just fix the focus. We got this. Alright, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna go fix it. I'm gonna stop the guider for a second. And then we'll be right back. Alright. Screwed up the guider, but that's okay. Alright, let's take a look and see here. Okay, I went in just a little bit. We'll see what that does. Hopefully that changed the focus just a little bit, enough where we'll be able to see something. Alright, we'll try this and see if this works. Alright. I mean, if we're going to take 6-minute exposures, I want to make darn sure that they're going to look good. Alright, so and we're going to take in a minute and 20. See what the stars look like here. Hopefully that fixed the guiding. Alright, we'll see what this does with the stars here. They look a little bit better. Huh. They're just way out of focus. It's pretty bad. It's better. Alright, let's move it again. What? What? I can't hear you. What? I said for you. For some reason I can't get this thing into focus no matter how hard I try. It was perfectly in focus when I got the crescent, but we'll see. We'll see. Hang on. We'll see here. Another 30 seconds and we'll see what we get here. Once we get this thing, then I'll lock it into place. And then we'll use the AccuFocus, because I got that set up now. Where once we get this ready, we'll never have to touch it again. Or it's just a matter of just pushing a button. It actually came apart, so that's why I was trying to work on it earlier this weekend. Getting that all set up and ready to go. Alright, let's see. Let's take a look. I moved it just a little bit to the right. That looks a lot better. Okay. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I'd say one more, and then we're in good shape. Try that and see if that works. Alright, that should do it. I don't know why it lost focus, though. That's unreal. It lost that much focus. That's crazy. The thing is, I mean, that one. Yeah, it's getting better in focus, so let's see what this next one's gonna do. We should be in really good shape now. Oh yeah, that's much, much, much better. Okay, perfect. Good. We got the focus in. Bingo. Perfect. Excellent. Now we're set. Okay, the focus is now set. So, while we're waiting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show everybody nighttime imaging and astronomy while we're waiting. Okay, and I'm going to show everybody the front screen and everything so you get an idea of what it looks like. Okay, now that we got focus set, of course. Alright, so let's see here. Alright. I'm just minimizing it here. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so while we're waiting for the image here, I have Nina pulled up. So this is called Nighttime Imaging and Astronomy 1.9. And I'm just going to go over a little bit with everyone. Now, I have not gotten totally used to this yet. As I said, it's going to take me some time to get through this. But the very first thing that you're going to notice up at the top left is what's called equipment. Okay. So, what this one is, equipment on here, you're going to have your camera. So you'll be able to connect your cameras. Okay, I'm not going to connect them directly onto here because we're running it through other programs right now. But as I said, with this one, it's great to have everything all into one. Okay, so for this one, I don't know if you could see the drop-down menu or not. I think you should be able to, right? I just want to see. Maybe not. I don't know if you can or not. But what it'll have is, it'll have my ZWO camera, which is already on there. My ASCOM Mead camera. And then it'll have, now it doesn't show on here, but before it had it on here, my QHY. So my QHY camera was on there. And then it'll have the rescan devices and then connect. Okay, so what it'll do is it'll show the camera settings and then the chip temperature. So what it'll do is you'll be able to use this and change the temperature. So if it's a CCD, a cooled coupling device. So yeah, it doesn't show up on there. Probably the best way I could do this is to just share my screen. Actually, that's probably the best way. So hang on, let me do it this way. Do window capture device. No. That's not it. That's what I want. Okay. I know it's going to be kind of trippy. But here, we'll make it bigger here, but still see the guider and everything. Okay, there we go. Alright, now everybody can see the full screen. Okay, here we go. So Troy, now we got it. Okay, so this is the full screen. So now you'll be able to see everything. Okay, so now if I were to click this here, now you'll be able to see the drop-down menu. And you can see all the cameras that are connected to here. And one thing I noticed though, which is weird, is it has a Mead Cam driver on here, but it doesn't have my Mead DSI 4, which is the camera that we're using with the hydrogen alpha filter for some reason. And I don't know why, but again, I'm going to work with this, and it's going to take me some time to go through this, so I'm going to spend a day just going through. I was reading the manual a little bit this afternoon, but once you connect it, you can connect your camera here. The next thing is the filter wheel. I have filter wheels, but they are not powered. But you can use an ASCOM filter wheel, and you can do that. If you have a focuser, you can use the focuser. If you have a rotator, you can use the rotator. Again, none of these for me are powered. Telescope. For me, I have a Celestron telescope driver. I have that. Once it's connected, you'll be able to use that. Guider. If you have a guider, you can use PHD2. What it'll do is it'll automatically load PHD2 to this. So this way you'll be able to see it. If you have a switch, and then of course you can upload weather. It's kind of neat. The next thing on here is what's called Sky Atlas. Sky Atlas is pretty self-explanatory. If you have anything that's 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, asterism, bright nebula cluster, dark nebula galaxy clusters, and so on. So it ranges to everything that's on here. So what I could do is I could look at, let's see, any bright nebula. So you can click on bright nebula, And then we could go by order of size or apparent magnitude. So we could go by apparent magnitude and we can go ascending. And we could search. So now what it's doing is it's searching everything on the list here. And now what's really cool about this is that you can actually see the time, where it is right now. And you can see when everything transits and when it's not available. So like right here, this is the Pelican Nebula right here, IC 5070. And it'll show that it's transiting right at 3 a.m. Right now, we're at just about like 10 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock right about now. So you can see that this is going to be prime time of getting the Pelican Nebula, which is nice. You could slew to it, set for framing, and you could set it as a sequence target, which is nice. So there's a bunch of a flaming star. Here's the Crescent Nebula, the bubble. Everything's all on here. Only thing that I haven't seen so far up to this point for this is it doesn't give you a map. Unless if I'm wrong and I just didn't see it yet. But I don't see any maps or anything. But you can hit search. You can see the illumination of the actual moon, when it rises, when it sets, the dawn, all that stuff for dusk, which is nice. You can use the next one, which is called framing. So if you want, you can load an image to see where it is on your image, and you can frame it just right and get it just set. Like for me, that's what I use to frame. I just use just the actual image, but it's a great way to do it. Flat Wizard, again, Flat Wizard's great because what this will do is it will use your images and create like the description to get you the most flattest image you can possibly get when you're taking your flats. And there's nice little, toggles that you can use. Sequence, pretty self-explanatory. What this is just doing is how many you want to take, the time that you want to take it. You can sort it by light, flat, dark, bias, and then of course snapshot. If you're using filters, you could use red, green, blue like what I'm using for mine. If you want to do color, binning, if you want to do 1x1, 2x2, 3x3, if you're dithering, and of course how many frames you want to dither for each one, which is nice. Then the imaging. So this is where it gets confusing, and this is what I was trying to do earlier, and I was super confused with this. Everything's customizable, okay, depending on what you want to use it for, okay? So the camera up on the top left, this would be your chip temperature. This would be what the camera is that you have on here. You could set the temperature, you could set everything on here to get it. Below that you would have your telescope, so you can see the time, meridian, right ascension, declination, and such, altitude, azimuth. So it would track everything all on here. The weather, you can always connect the weather if you want. And then this right here, this would be your image. So when you're taking 1x1, this would be where your image is. Sequence, so if you were taking a whole bunch of images, it would tell you the estimated time. This is your actual image bar, so you can actually set the time, filter, and everything, and then you would hit this button right here, and this would start capturing the images. Your plate solving, so again, you're not using 5 or 6 different programs all over the place, it's all condensed into one frame. And then your guider, which is on the bottom here. So this way it collects data from PhD and puts it right on the front screen. So everything would all be here, and you could see 0, and these are all your pixels. So right ascension and declination going right across, kind of like what we see now up at the bottom. So for me, I have it all set up with window capture on OBS, so I use everything and I put it all in where you can see everything all in one spot. This does pretty much what I'm doing now for everyone, but it gives you just an opportunity to see everything, and you customize it too. Like I could take the image and move it over, I can move the sequence, I can move it down. If you have a filter wheel that it's powered, you can move that. If you have a rotator, you can move that. You can get this set up to where you want it to be. And like you could see focuser down here, rotator. You could set it up to have just tabs, just go back and forth. So it makes it a little bit easier. So if that makes any sense to everyone. Again, I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to try it one session where I'm going to show everyone, but at the same time, it's going to take some time. So if that makes any sense. So the images are done. Let's take a look and see what we got. Man, you can't get that on the edge, though. That's the pain in the butt. Wow, you gotta like really hit this like hard. Yeah, I gotta change the gain. I have to. Unfortunately. Well, this looks pretty cool, the camera on the right. There we go. So Troy, and everyone else that is watching, that was Nina in pretty much a nutshell. Now, it's a free program to download. You just go right on the internet, just download it, and then you can test it out for yourself to see if that works. You can use your DSLR cameras, you can use the ZWO camera, pretty much any camera that you want. And one of these nights, I'm just going to test it out with my ZWO just to take a look to see how it works. Well, we'll get there. I just wanted to show everyone just a basic crash course of that. It's going to be hard for me only because of the fact that I'm so used to doing things a certain way, and how I have it with the 5 windows. I have it set on the laptop where I can interact with all 5. The way you see it on your screen is completely different the way that I see it. And I can interact back and forth and not have any problems at all. Like, I use card to seal, which is on your bottom left, so I can move this back and forth, get it just where I want it to be. Or if I want to use my easy cap, I can move this back and forth, get this wherever I want it to be. So that's easy enough. Or if I wanted to use, you know, my sky capture, I can do that too. So that would work too. So either one, you know, or my PhD, you know, PhD is right here, and I can move or whatever I got to do for that. So as I said, what we're doing is we're getting the Elephant Trunk Nebula. Looking at this, you don't see anything; it's a black image. But again, if I were to use the curves and break the curve here. You'll be able to see some of the actual detail of the elephant trunk. But the problem is that we're using so much of the histogram that I can't stretch it anymore, which is crazy to even think about. I can't stretch this, so I have to put gain in this. So we'll see what this looks like. What I did was I changed it to 12 gain, and we'll see what we get. Let's change it to 12. And again, we're taking a 6-minute exposure, and we'll see what it looks like. We had a little bit of trouble with focus earlier, but focus seems to be in pretty good shape now. So we shouldn't have any problems now. Let's see here. We should be just about ready for the next image here. We are at just under 4 minutes. So we got about 2 minutes left, and we're going to have the next image come up. And we'll see what we get. Now, what I could do is this. Let's see. Go to 20%. We can look at the whole image here. There we go. Whoops. There we go. I don't know why there's a circle in there. Probably because I stretched this image so much. Oh, next image is done. Well, let's take a look and see what this one is, because I stretched it to 12 gain. So now you're going to start seeing actual detail before I even stretch it. So this might actually be better. So let's see. Oh yeah, this is much, much better. Oh, wow. Ah! There we go. I still don't know why there's a circle in the middle. There shouldn't be. I don't know why there's a circle in this. I don't know if it's just because the fact that we are stretching this so much. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Still looks pretty darn sweet, though. Even though we have that weird looking... Yeah, this would be the elephant trunk right here. This is the center of it right there. And you can just barely see the outline of it right here. On the camera on the right. I know, in just 6 minutes. I know. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to probably boost it up just a slight bit on this next image here. We're going to try to go to 8 minutes and see what we get here. We're just waiting for the next image to finish, and we'll boost it up to 8 and see. And I think it's... I don't know if it's coma or what. I don't know what the heck it is. It's like this dark circle right here. I just don't understand it. Thing is, if I move the image, I could see if it moves. But here's the thing. If I were to go and look at an image from before... Now, this was taken about maybe 45 minutes ago. Yeah, I think it very well could be. It very well could be humid out. And I think that's what it's doing. Yeah, I think it's humid. I think that's the problem we're running into, I think. Alright, 40 seconds, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the exposure. Oh yeah, there's a big circle now. I bet you there's oh man, it's oh man. I had the dew heater on. I mean, it was 83 out, and I bet you that's what it is. That's why the stars are looking like what they are. Let me check something here. shoot. Well, that's no fun. Yeah, you can see the stars are like oblong. And they have like halos around them. Man, oh man. So even with the dew heaters on, I'm still getting... Yeah, I'm still getting that circle. That sucks. Ugh. And that's not gonna go away either. That's the worst part. I can't really do anything with the data either. I mean, it looks cool, but... Oh, that very well could be too. That's heading north. But I bet you. Let me go check. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go check and see. Hang on. What I want to do is I'm gonna stop the image here. Hang on. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check it. Let's see. I bet you there is dew on it. Bet you. Okay. I figured it out. Okay. There is dew on the actual glass in front of the center. I figured it out. Yeah. Anybody have any good remedy for that? So I was looking at it, and what it looks like is there's like a circle. Like you can even see it, just barely. You can see it on here. On the camera on the left, you can see there's like a big circle. Is because it looks like there's like kind of like condensation on the glass. So it's the glass between that and the filter. There's like a little bit of I put a heater on it, one of the heat straps on it, so maybe that might help. The only way I could do it is if I were to take a short exposure, see if that, because this is the second time that this has happened in 3 sessions. The only way I could do it is if I were to take the exposure and do a 90-second exposure and then watch it and see if that circle goes down. Because now I put 2 dew heat straps closer to the beginning, and I'm hoping that should offset it being, because if you look at the images from in the previous, so if you look at, let's see, this one. Yeah, if you look at this one, there is not a single, no single dark mark. I mean, that looks epic. That looks phenomenal. But then all of a sudden that dew spot came out of nowhere. So we'll see what we get here. And hopefully this will work. So we're learning as we go along. Because the problem is that I can't put any more space between the filter and the sensor because it's an 1.25 inches. So with it being 1.25 inches, if you put it far enough out there, then you're going to get chromatic aberration on it, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, I mean, look at that circle. That's ridiculous. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if this goes away. I'm hoping it will. I hope so. And by the way, the camera on the right is because I kept going outside and putting the heat strap on. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do that. And the other way I could possibly do it too is if I can set the temperature down lower. Let's try that. Let's see if that helps. Let's try that and see if that works. And the only problem is that if I... Here's the problem with that. If I take the camera off and use the micro... Because the problem is it's inside. So this isn't like on the front of the actual telescope. This is like you have to unscrew it, take the camera out, wipe it, and then put it back in, and then have to refocus it. So like this is between the space between the filter wheel and the camera. We'll see if the circle gets bigger or smaller, because if it doesn't, then we're in trouble. Looks like a black hole.
Tonight I'll reach out and touch the sky. In the city of angels, feels like I'm coming home. With my head up in the clouds, I am searching for something, and I'm still hoping. Wanna be in, not out, wanna make this all count. Yes, I wanna go crazy now, gonna make this all count. Feeling like a rock star, 'cause tonight I'm getting out of line and it's alright. Feeling like feeling like just as cool as John Wayne in his movies. Feeling like I'm James Dean and I know it. Feeling like feeling like
Let's see. I'm taking these images one after another, so we'll see if this really does go away. Oh god, the circle's getting bigger. I think we're going in the opposite direction. Well, it's not a growing dust mote. What it is, it's condensation on the front glass. So you have the camera sensor. Then you have the glass in front of the sensor. And then you have the filter. There is condensation building up on the front of that glass where the camera is. And I'm trying to put... I put 2 heat straps where that filter is. And what we're getting is the problem that the condensation is building. So the best way to do this would be to take this and then go to 7 degrees, apply it, and see. I mean, the image looks great. Other than the fact that we have a gigantic condensation circle. I mean, that's a huge condensation circle. So in the opposite direction, so... Here's what we'll do. We'll turn off the cooler. We'll do it that way. So if we turn off the cooler, and we have the heat inside of the scope should offset the ambient temperature. So when I first start to see that, turn off the cooler. We'll try that and see if that works. It just looks like a gigantic black hole. I mean, the camera on the right looks great. We have no problems with the camera on the right at all. It looks really cool, though. But that's not what we want. So, give it a minute, because it's going to use the heat. But we're having fun, though. That's the most important thing. And we're figuring it out. The next image should be coming up here on the left, so we'll see what it does. We turned off the TEC, which is the thermal electric cooling. So we'll see what that does. Is we have some condensation on the front glass of the camera, which is causing a little bit of havoc. Just a little bit of havoc. So we're taking 90-second exposures here on the left. Try to figure out exactly what we can do, because again, this is the second time that this has happened in 3 sessions that we've had condensation on the actual glass. Now, granted, when I stopped the session, everything was done, condensation went down and then went away, and we didn't have any more problems. The last session we had when we got the Crescent and North American Nebula, we did not have any condensation. My guess is, if I had to take a guess, it has to do with the humidity. That's the only thing I could possibly think of. Let me check what the humidity is. 88%. 89, it's just updated, so it's close to 90% humidity. I'd be willing to bet the humidity has something to do with this. Kind of like when you have a cold glass of pop sitting out and it's super hot outside, condensation fills up. I gotta combat that somehow, some way. Don't know how. Alright, let's take a look and see. Oh, it's going down. Yep, it's going down. Perfect. So the condensation is dissipating. So I have 2 heat straps right around where the filter is and right where the camera is. And then I turned off the TEC, so hopefully this should eliminate any condensation that is between the filter and the sensor. So we'll see. Next image should be coming up any minute now. Oh yeah, it's gone now. It's dissipating. Look at that. Awesome. So it's slowly but surely dissipating. So I'd say about another 2 to 3 more minutes and we should be in good shape, and then we'll turn the cooler back on, but we won't have it as strong. We'll see if that works. Yep, temperatures matching up between the two of them. I think Chris and also Troy, could it possibly be that the humidity is so high that it's causing that? I wonder if that could be the possible reason why. Yeah, if you look at it carefully, watch. This is image 26. So look right in this area right here. I know it's going to be hard to see, but if you look right in this area, this is image 26. This is 27. And this is 28. So now this is, it's virtually disappearing. Because what it's got now is all heat. Yeah, look at that. It's like virtually gone. Yeah, humidity tonight is virtually as close to 100% as you can possibly get. Yeah, so again, this is 26, 27, 28, and now 29. So now you're actually starting to see the stars in the middle now. So now it's virtually gone. Look at that. Oh, wow, we're starting to get... It's starting to finally come back. Look at that. Look at that, everyone. We actually have an image now. Look at that. Alright. So, now let's turn the TEC on. But what we'll do is we'll use a temperature of, say, 5 degrees. We won't go nuts and do negative 24. Because the humidity it being so high, I think we should be in good shape now. Alright, perfect. And then we'll stop it. And then we'll do 6 minutes. At 12. And go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have figured out how to get rid of dew or condensation near the sensor. How about that? Note to self, you just turn off the cooler. There we go. Perfect. And now we'll take a 6-minute exposure and we should be in good shape. Because now the 2 heat straps should be in good shape. That should offset that completely. And we should be in good shape. Alright, so now we're taking a 6-minute exposure. We're at 1:55. Yeah, temperature can be a problem. You're exactly right. But especially when you're doing a CCD camera, like the QHY, I've never ever had a problem with it having dew or condensation ever. You're noticing that the camera on the right has had like virtually no problems at all. And it's been taking 8-minute images like a champ. I mean, this is at 2 times. And you can see like the stars are good. There's no dew, there's no nothing. It's been solid the entire time. I haven't had any problems at all. Where are those bright stars? That's right, it should be right in here. There's those stars there. Oh, it's more towards the, okay. Towards the right side, gotcha, okay. So it should be right here and down. There it is. So it's there. Right there. Okay. We're learning. We are learning, people. We are getting better at this. Every single day, we're learning and getting better. Less than 1:45 seconds until we see what the image looks like here on the left. We should be in good shape. So we've been getting images. Not the way I wanted them to, but with it being so hot. Right now the temperature, let's take a look. Let's see. The temperature outside right now is 74 degrees. 74, and it feels like it's 81. That's ridiculous. And it's 93% humidity right now. With a dew point of 70. Oh. Air quality is acceptable, so it's not too bad. But the humidity is the big one. That's the killer. Do they make of such thing as a humidity strap? That would be interesting. Alright, 15 seconds. Let's see what we get here. Alright, let's see. Oh my god, so much better. Oh my god. Oh, now that's much better. That's freaking amazing. That is gorgeous. That is what you call a money shot right there. And if it stays like that, we are golden. Wow. Can we get a zoom in on that? Let's see. 2400 and 1800. About here. That is so cool. There we go. That is really good. Try to see if I can pull out a little bit more detail on this. And again, this is the elephant trunk. I mean, you got the significant detail in here. It goes all the way down. You got significant detail right here. Then it comes around. It goes this way here. So you could see all the detail. And it's just intricate. I mean, it's... with the gain cranked up to 12, you're still getting a ton of detail. Now, if I were to take... let's bring this down here just a little bit here. There we go. That brings a little bit more detail on it. Alright, so the next one is done. Oh yeah, it's so much better. That's just... that doesn't compare to what I was getting with the QHY. We start stacking these one on top of the other. I mean, like, hot dang. Let's try a 9-minute exposure, just for the hell of it. Let's see what we could get. No Starlink issues for tonight. Everything looks pretty good for Starlink. I don't have no satellites or anything tonight. Nothing has come into view at all. We should be pretty good with that. And we're taking a 12-minute exposure on the right, so we're going to see what we get on the one on the right. So that'll be interesting. We're already 2.5 minutes into our 9-minute exposure on the camera on the left. It'll be very interesting to see what we get. We'll probably take a couple 9-minute exposures and then we'll be done for the night. We figured out to put the heat straps on there, and that has dissipated the dew or the condensation. Alright, so we're halfway through the image on the left. Alright, just a couple more minutes to go on the one on the left, and we'll see what we get for a 9-minute image. So we got about a minute and a half left on the left. See what we get. It's going to be very interesting. But we got it figured out, so that's a good thing. Alright, 15 seconds. Guiding's been sporadic, but hasn't been too bad. Alright, here we go. Wow, you can actually see some detail even with just the actual image without even stretching it. Look at that. You can actually see the elephant trunk without even stretching the image at all. That's how much data is on this one image. That's crazy. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. That's nuts. Wow, that's crazy. That is unreal. So that's a 9-minute image. Wow. That's a 540-second image at 12 gain. The one on the right is done, and that's a 12-minute image on the one on the right. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I should be able to. I mean, that is... And that's just one shot. I mean, here's what we could do. Here's what we can do. Here's what we can do. Let's save them. Let's do a batch save. IC 1396. So let's save them all. There's 33 images, so it's going to take a few minutes for it to save them all. Alright, so it's saving all of them as we speak. While still taking an image, of course, naturally. Because then what I'll do... Alright, so it's saving them. We will pull up Deep Sky Stacker, naturally. Okay, so it's saving all the images as we speak. Alright, so now they're all saved. Now the image, it's the last one, so... We'll get the last two, so 325... and 324 we'll keep. Every one of these other ones can just go right into another folder. Okay, what about... Yeah, we'll do 23, 24, and 25. We'll keep. Alright. Perfect. Okay, so now that's pulled up. So I'm pulling up Deep Sky Stacker live. Well, this way we'll take a look and see what we got here. Oops, wrong button. God, I love having a mouse with this. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That is freaking awesome. That's stacked 3 of them. Let me see if I can try to add some detail here. See if I can... That's awesome. There we go. Perfect. That is just amazing. So that is the one on the left with the deep sky stacker. That is a 9-minute image, a 6-minute image, and a 3-minute image. So that's 18 minutes in total. It's just 3 images, and this is what we get right here. And then, of course, the big one is just one single image. The one on the right, of course, naturally, it's just red. Naturally. It's a red image. And it looked like the guider did jump right here. I don't know what happened. Let me try this. Let me go back to 3-second image here. There we go. We'll try that because it looks like it's like jumping. There we go. That's going to be better. Okay. And hello there, Genghis Khan, and hello, Rob. Welcome, everyone. As we are getting the wonderful Elephant Trunk Nebula in Hydrogen Alpha. And we're having some major fun here. Take a look and see what this one turned out to be. I think this one was the one where it skipped a little bit, but should still be in good shape. Oh yeah, we're still in good shape. Alright, good. So we'll do a batch save. Alright. Alright, so now it's stacking the next one. So on the bottom, the left one should be coming up here in a second. We're going to get our 4th image. So give it a second here. It's coming in. Oh, you're getting more detail in the actual trunk itself. Nice. The problem is with color. To get this one in color, I could do the Hubble palette. I could. I'd have to get hydrogen Well, no, not hydrogen. I have the hydrogen alpha filter. I'd have to get the oxygen 3 and the sulfur 2 filter, which I can get, and then we would create that colored image. So, but it would take some time, and I'd have to get those two. But kudos to Sobani for making this kind of filter, it being a 7 nanometer filter, and getting this. I mean, it's just incredible the detail that you can get. I mean, it just being just a 9-minute exposure. We've gotten 2 of them so far, so that's 18 minutes. It's one of those things that you could probably look at online and take a look at a picture, and it would just be pretty darn close. Oh, excuse me, I yawned. I'm just saying it could become pretty darn close to what I have on here. Yeah, go with the hydrogen alpha filter. I mean, Chris, it's just unbelievable. It's like it's virtually, to me, it's like night and day. I mean, here's what I could do. Here's what I'll do. I'll pull up an image that we took before this hydrogen alpha filter, and we can see the difference. So let's try. Let's see. There's a Caldwell IC1396. Here we go. So we could try this one. Alright, so this one here is prior to this, and I could stretch the image here. Alright. Try to see what we get here. Okay, so this is it right here. But you can see the difference. It's just insane. I mean, I have to stretch this thing out so much just to get it. And this is it right here. You could just barely see it. Same camera, same telescope. I mean, this here was about a 7 or 8 minute image, and we're taking a 7 to 8 minute image. So again, this is one single image, this is a single image. Look at the difference. I mean, it's incredible. To me, it's just... I would so get the hydrogen alpha filter, and I would definitely 100% recommend the Svbony, SVBONY, their hydrogen alpha filter. Hands down. If you have a CCD camera, it's 7 nanometers, and you have a monochromatic camera, do it, please. I have not gone wrong, and I plan on, if they have an oxygen 3 filter and a sulfur 2 filter, I 100% will get both of those, and we'll be getting colored image with both of them. Because I'll be doing mosaics this summer, I'll be getting a whole bunch of stuff and trying to just go absolutely crazy. It is, it's night and day. Like, you're looking at the same freaking object. Like, I can zoom in on this. I'll go to 200%. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Alright, there's those stars there. That's it right there, okay. And then what I could do is use the curve. Well, the image is done anyways. But here, hang on. So you can't even see it. And that's how incredible it is. Alright, so the next image is done, so now we're gonna save it. We're gonna do a batch save. Alright, and now we're gonna do the next one. Oh, I know. Wouldn't that be amazing? Put life in real perspective, exactly. You know, I 100% agree with that. Alright, so here comes the 5th one. Yeah, so now the background's starting to get darker. And the nebula is looking amazing. Yes, it is. No doubt about that. Canon Rebel and a ZWO AS120 camera. Is your 120 camera, is that monochrome? Because the hydrogen alpha filter on the camera on the right, it's a Lumicon filter. And it's a photographic filter. It's not an... Oh no, it's an imaging... Not an imaging. Okay, it's a viewing filter, not an imaging filter. It's a 2-inch one. Alright, so we'll take one more, and we will call it a night. good news is we got rid of that condensation. Hello, Ray. Welcome. So we got about a half an hour of this with the 9-minute images, and then we took a couple 6s, and we also took a couple 3s. But guiding is starting to bounce just a little bit. Let me try this and see what we can do here. Oh, then you should be good. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, Chris, you should be able to... If you have the 120 monochrome, you should be in good shape. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to get a hydrogen alpha filter on that and be able to do that. Yeah, the dark structures are just unreal. Exactly, Chris. And it really is. I mean, that's just the best part, is that with this camera, it's not the best camera in the world. No doubt. I mean, it's not the ASI, what is it, the ZWO 1600? I mean, don't get me wrong. 1600 is a phenomenal camera. But this one, it definitely is a really good camera. And I'm 100% satisfied for what it can do. And now we can push it to, you know, higher heights. I could do 8, 9, 10, 12-minute exposures. And once we get that, then we'll do we'll do the oxygen 3, sulfur 2. We'll get all of that, and we'll be able to put this all together for color. So where do we stand? Let's see. We got 95% on the camera on the right. It's probably going to look like it's going to bounce a lot. And then the camera on the left's got a couple more minutes left. Alright, so that's at 99% and 100. So we'll see what it looks like here. We'll watch what the stars do here. Oof. Yeah, stars are definitely drifting. Let me see, what do we got here? Where are we for the image here? We got a minute and a half left. And so with the camera on the right, you gotta really use your imagination. I know it's not the greatest thing in the world with that camera, but again, you have to really, really use the outline for that one. Really figure it out. Where you have it is, this right here is the end of the Elephant Trunk Nebula, and then it comes down, and then you have the jig-jag right here. And then it comes back and around, and then down here. Again, nowhere near detail. You know that, and I, of course, know that. But how to find it, of course, is you would just look at those bright stars. Which is, it's these bright stars right here, and then it's just to the right of it, and that's what this is right here. Of course, granted, it's really bad with guiding all of a sudden, but that's okay. So the next image is done. So now we're going to flip it over to that small box where it says Deep Sky Stacker Live. And we're going to watch it, and we're going to see the next image come through. The background's going to start getting darker. Yep. And then what I can do is play with the histogram here. There we go. Make it a little bit lighter. And then what I can probably do is then I can make the other side darker. Just by doing this here. And then getting more detail out of it. There we go. That's a close-up. It's unbelievable. Just amazing. Just what a single 9-minute image can do. Absolutely incredible. Alright, so this is the last image. This is it. And then we are done for the night. Because that's already 1 a.m. Yeah, guiding's just been bouncing everywhere. 1.34, 1.37, 1.33. Yeah, it's just all over the place. Alright, let's see. And this is the last image of the night. We're saving it. So here we go. This is image number 7. It's being stacked. So put us at 1 hour of image time. Perfect. then the last image here on the right. And that is it, everyone. So, we had fun tonight. We got one object. We imaged the hell out of it. We had lots of fun. We really put it to test, which was great. But it is time to call it a night. So, thank you guys so much for coming on and just enjoying the evening. As we got some good images of the elephant trunk. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys, and I want you guys to have a wonderful evening. Take care, guys.